Hello, my friends. Mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. I am James, and this is part 5, section 2, The Miracles of Jesus, in the 8-part series, The Son, the Unique One. I have noted 11 places where people react to his miracles. Here are a few. Matthew 9, verse 33. And when the demon had been cast out, the mute man spoke. And the crowds marveled, saying, Never was anything like this seen in Israel. Mark 2, verse 12. And he rose and immediately picked up his bed and went out before them all, so that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, We never saw anything like this. His miracles were a fulfillment of prophecy. Isaiah 53, verse 4, Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. This was affirmed as fulfilled in Matthew 8, verse 17, pointing to the miracles recorded in Matthew chapter 8, verses 2 to 16. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He took our illnesses and bore our diseases. His miracles were his validation as Messiah to John the Baptist. Matthew 11, verses 2 to 6. Now, when John heard in prison about the deeds of the Christ, he sent word by his disciples and said to him, Are you the one who is to come, or shall we look for another? And Jesus answered them, Go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. Lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have good news preached to them. And blessed is the one who is not offended by me. His miracles show the very purpose of the Gospel of John. John 20, verses 30 and 31. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. The closing statement of John's Gospel affirms the miracles, the signs of Jesus. John 21, verse 25. Now there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. Well, what about those who don't believe in the miraculous? In Washington, D.C., in the Smithsonian Institute, there is a Bible called the Jefferson Bible. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States, 1801 to 1809. The Jefferson Bible is a shortened version of the Gospels created by Thomas Jefferson. Around 1820, Jefferson literally cut passages out of several Bible translations and pasted them together to create a narrative of Jesus' life and teachings. He removed the miracles, the virgin birth, the divinity of Jesus, the resurrection, and references to angels and other supernatural events. Unlike the New Testament, the Jefferson Bible ends with Jesus being placed in the tomb. It does not include the resurrection account. Jefferson was influenced by Enlightenment ideas that emphasized reason and questioned traditional authority. He called the gospel accounts contrary to reason. You decide. Shalom Aleichem, B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Peace to you in the name of Yeshua, the Messiah.